So, episode 10 of Final Space. So, yeah, this one is basically just a continuation of the things that were set up in the closing of the previous arc and then the opening of this one, if that makes any sense. So, as ever, spoilers as ever, so here we go. So, yeah, the Lord Commander in this episode, uh, yeah, his connections to Invictus are completely severed, where he now just completely just disobeys Invictus's, orders to grab Mooncake because he sees that there is a Titan about to hatch at the center of the Earth. Yeah. And that is basically the bulk of this episode. There's also the setting up of the Kevin net, which I'll get into in a minute, but ends up being a bit pointless. And I'm not really sure what their overall goal was in the first place, but again, I'll go on to that. I'll talk about the Lord Commander stuff first, and then we'll get on. So, yeah, the Lord Commander's plan, obviously from the beginning, was to become a Titan. And in this screenshot here, as you can see, he finally does. He merges himself with the Titan that is about to hatch at the center of the Earth and becomes himself a Titan. That is basically the plot. Throughout the episode, he is being chased by Sheila Avocado and Little Cato, though they don't really have much of a bearing on the plot, really. But the Lord Commander, surprise, surprise, in this episode reveals that the whole time he was just using Invictus and was never going to, be an underling to him. Yeah, I know that was a big surprise to everyone. A big surprise. To be honest, it does make things more interesting now because obviously before the Lord Commander might have had his powers, but he was no match, for Invictus. So this will be a bit more of an interesting thing. Obviously, we will probably have a final, possibly three-way battle between Invictus, the Lord Commander, Bolo, who does return in this episode, by the way, and obviously Gary and Co. sort of caught in the middle of everything. So, yeah, I am looking forward to that. And it is, nice to actually have some, more Lord Commander stuff. Because Invictus, to be honest, to me as a villain, he's obviously a really, powerful villain, but the only problem I have with Invictus is he doesn't really have that much of a personality. Whereas the Lord Commander does. He is entertaining, to watch and listen to him rant about things. So for me, it's just more it's more enjoyable when a villain has more of a personality to them rather than just being, either the ultimate evil kind of thing. As for getting the Kevins online to basically, start killing Titans, that ends up being, as I said, completely pointless. So human Kevin or Professor Kevin or whatever sacrifices himself and stays behind as the Earth is basically starting to be destroyed in order to get the Kevins online. And when the Kevins are online, they all launch and link up in a nice little spider web. And there's a moment where Gary says, "Oh, we've won." And in that second, the Lord Commander, now as a Titan, basically just breaks through this web. And somehow that shatters the entire web and destroys all of the Kevins. So, yeah. I don't know if it was the fact that it was from the inside outwards. I don't know if the Kevins could only kill a Titan from the outside rather than the inside, but yeah, just a bit weird how, the Lord Commander was just able to just break through this really easily and somehow that caused a chain reaction to destroy all the Kevins. I don't know, I just found that a bit odd, quite frankly. I mean, it was a really cool moment and a really, nice reveal of the Lord Commander as a Titan coming through the flames. And I'm glad that, you can still see basically elements of his design, mainly in his head and his face, that, yeah, you can still see that it is the Lord Commander. It isn't just a Titan with the Lord Commander's, mind inside it. It has, taking on some of his physical features. So that's nice that, we still have elements of his old design in there, which is enjoyable. To be honest, I don't really have much else to really talk about in this episode. It was an enjoyable one, but I can tell this one was, again, a lot more of a setup, basically. I mean, if you were to talk about the point of this episode was to basically just get the Lord Commander into his Titan form. And it also basically shows that the Kevin kind of element was completely useless. Which, yeah, I mean, I get the point of it was, to build it up and just like, oh yeah, this is a way to kill Titans. And then suddenly it's all for nothing in the end, the loss of everything. But, at the same time, it just feels a bit pointless, the whole build-up and that towards it. Because, we didn't even see the Kevins kill one Titan. If they, killed one or two, if the Kevins were set up a little bit earlier, and they managed to kill maybe one or two Titans, and then this happened, then, yeah, I could see it be a bigger payoff. But we never see them actually kill one Titan, so we don't even know if that was actually truly the case. It said it was, but, then again, we never do see it, so... But still, though, it was nice also to have Bolo back, who can shrink his form to, human size, which, okay. And Gary does rightly point out, why did you never do that before? Because it wasn't part of the plot convenience before, that's why. That's why it wasn't before. Yeah. Also in this episode, the portal back to, well, regular space, I'll call it, is flown off into the distance, and yeah, you know that is going to appear in either episode 12 or 13. You know that portal is going to reappear again. It just is. It just is going to reappear again. Something that didn't happen in this episode that I thought they were setting up, but it still didn't happen, was the bit where Avocado is about to, go and basically shoot a bomb at the Lord Commander, which obviously, clearly didn't work. And there's a bit where he tells Lord Cal to stay behind and don't come with him. And obviously, he sneaks aboard, which ends up being kind of pointless. I thought this would be an episode where either himself or possibly even the Lord Commander, who practically guessed it, would actually, reveal that Avocado isn't Little Cato's, real father, his biological father. But no. So I'm wondering, has he actually told Little Cato that? I don't think he has. I'm assuming it's probably going to come up. It's going to come up in either episode 11 or 12. I don't see it being held off right for the finale. I'm hazarding a guess that it's going to be episode 11 or 12. Possibly 12, I think. But, yeah. The death of Kevin in this episode, obviously the human Kevin. Yeah, obviously, it's a character we didn't really get to know very well. I mean, all we knew about him is he was a bit of a crazy scientist, and that was kind of it. But, it's just hard to really feel anything. It's kind of like Fox's death the other week, where it's hard to really feel too much because, we never really knew that much about him, so it's hard to really get invested with his death. I mean, to the point where I hold his death and Fox's death on the same level. Really, it wasn't a big, oh no, they're dead kind of thing. It's just like, okay, this happened. I mean, to be honest, I felt more sad about Nightfall's death at the end of season 2 than this. Just because, I knew the you knew the character, you knew what they were all about, whereas with, Professor Kevin or Human Kevin, whatever you want to call him, not really much. But it is nice, though, that he did go out sacrificing himself to try and, stop the Titans and launch the Kevins. Although in the end, obviously, it all came up to nil. So, yeah. But obviously, things are I think, I don't know what else could really be set up now, because obviously, what else can you really add? I think the next 3 episodes will basically more be about closing things off, because obviously, they pretty much killed off all the season 2 villains. So they're not coming back. We've got the Lord Commander in his ultimate Titan form now. Bolo's back, everyone else is together and that, and then so yeah, basically it's just gonna be a 3-way fight. So yeah, we'll see. I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling actually that the Lord Commander might be the one to kill Invictus. Either that or he's going to merge with him. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, that's just a theory. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this episode. I don't know if I enjoy. I think I might enjoy it slightly more than last week's. I think just because obviously the Lord Commander's in, I always enjoy his presence in any episode. So yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.